Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids. It's the third video today. Thank you to everyone who has watched them all. I really do appreciate that. It's not always good practice on YouTube to do 3 videos a day. It is a lot. The algorithm no likey, but there's just been stuff to cover. In this video, we're going to be talking about the new rotation of the Cursed City, which has just launched, and there's definitely a few substantial enough changes in here on top of just the changes to the regular stages. So we're going to be looking at some of the hardest stages in particular, because this seems like it's going to be a monthly thing now. We've got basically 4 days of 100% gear removal cost. They did this at the start of the last Cursed City. This looks like it might happen now every time, which is cool. So it probably is something you can plan for to happen. You know, whatever, in 4 weeks, 1 day from now, there's probably going to be 100% gear removal for 4 days again, which is pretty great, actually. Definitely having that be a more regular, expected thing is very good. So here we come into hard. One thing to note, of course, the quests all fully reset. That was kind of expected. So it does mean, like, my God, almost half of the candles are locked behind clearing every single stage, which is difficult. You can see I didn't do it last rotation. I got blocked around 18, 20, 14. I did clear everything else, but I got blocked on those 3 and I couldn't get any further west. We're going to take a look at those. First thing to note, if you want to get to Amus, there are different boss stages which have the red key now. So the one in Cobble Market, I think was on this boss last time. Now it's over here in the corner. I think last time it might have been on these bosses. Now it's over here. That's a bit easier to get to. And then it was on this guy before. Now it's all the way over here in the east, so a bit harder to get to. It is kind of tricky to get to these, right? I think the easiest way to get over to the east here is just going kind of in a straight path. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stages. That's 1 day. And then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So almost another entire day to get straight over there. It's going to take a while. I don't think you're going to get to Amus in the time. So we've got 2 extra spots we can move. I think after that, we come to this side. We go, 7, 8. We can get over here on the second day. Then the third day, we can go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then I think from here, we swing up to the middle. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you can do it on the 4th day. You can do it. So you could probably just about squeeze it in and get to Amus on time, but it's pretty tight. But I think that would be roughly my recommended route through. You can obviously do it in whichever order you want. But yeah, you got to take quite a long path just straight over to get to this key. It's going to leave you pretty far away from everything. To get into Soul Cross, then, is also quite awkward. Maybe from P3 is the fastest. Go P4, maybe boss, or one of those P6 then into S1 and around. It's probably the fastest. Yeah, because otherwise you got to come from this boss over here, which you'll have done, and go all the way around there. Yeah, so definitely coming through the east is the fastest way into Soul Cross. Let's take a look at the stages. I'm not gonna probably talk about these ones. What I'll probably do, I don't know, let me know in the comments exactly what sort of video you would like to see me doing. I personally don't think there's any point in me showing any of Cobble Market. Like, you know, we'll do 1 round here just for fun. Like, our options a bit more limited. I don't know. Let's put in these 2 guys. Oh, you've got a better aura? Okay, cool. Go. I should click start on auto, huh? Like, this is go auto. Bam. This is what it's gonna look like pretty much. Actually, Errol's gonna take a bunch of turns and slow us down. Oh no, we got decreased cooldown. We're okay. Don't do your single target, son of a gun. He did the single target move. All right. But like, that's what I think most of Cobble Market's going to look like, is really that. So I don't think there's any much point in me showing it to you. What I might do is like a summary video and just go over the teams I actually used for like the boss stages, or if there was any stage I thought was hard. But I'm expecting it to be fairly smooth sailing until I get to Soul Cross. And then, well, Amus will be the first, I think, major challenge. So let's take a little look here. Amus, let's move me, I guess, up here. Different factions this time around. So this time it's Undead, Sacred Order, Ogren Tribes, Skinwalkers, again, they're back, and High Elves. So, no Pytheon this time. No Mithrala, who is my main damage dealer this time. Let's look at a team. Just move me again. I'll go in the middle, I guess. looking at a team, I think for me, Sifi obviously goes in, definitely. One thing we could do is we definitely need heal reduction. That's probably the most important thing. So over here in heal reduction, there are not a lot of options, to be blunt. Really not a lot. Previous fusion Margain, very strong option. At the start of every turn, puts heal reduction for 2 turns on an enemy. That's very good. Sorry, just had a phone call there. Also realized I'm blocking this. There's nowhere to put the webcam that makes sense. But yeah, 100% heal reduction. It cannot be removed, transferred, spread, or have its duration increase or decrease. So that is a very strong option. She might be, honestly, the best pick. And she does give you a speed in all battles aura as well, which is great. She also brings, she could even work unbooked, right? She's giving you turn meter boost. That's nice. It's fine. She can steal buffs from an enemy. That's also useful. She could put out decreased accuracy. The decreased speed, I think you cannot place on Amus, but she's probably a really good pick. I do think that Archbishop Pinthroy could be really good as well. He has increased accuracy for your team, then puts heal reduction, which is, again, that's fantastic, right? And block buffs as well. I guess that's not too useful. The boss could even turn that into block debuffs. Well, I guess you time it at the right time. But he's going to be good for the heal reduction, and he also will help you stay alive. So he's going to be a decent option as well. After that, like, these two I don't think are particularly good. I'd say Frostbringer might be your best budget option. Perhaps 2 hits at random with 50% of putting heal reduction for 2 turns. It's not great. She brings some other stuff. It's okay. What does Old Gruckus do? Leech. Okay, Old Gruckus is really good as well. 3-turn cooldown, decreased attack, heal reduction. And then his other stuff does not. He's got Leech, which is kind of nice. So Old Gruckus, actually, he'd be your best budget option, I'd say. And then maybe some other stuff. I don't know if I'm missing anything there. I'd say Margain is probably the easiest one to put in. And she's got like the buff stealing, which could be kind of nifty. So I'll probably lean towards Margain for that. Then I think we need someone to help us stay alive when the boss goes into Form 2. That's going to be important. We're going to need to build our team pretty tanky. We're going to need some sort of damage as well. I actually think that Eurost is very strong, or Blizzar. I think one of the two. Eurost comes in. He's got Strengthen, Ally Protection on everyone for 2 turns on a 3-turn cooldown. So that is very, very strong, and he's super tanky. Blizzar, he comes in, and he has increased defense and ally protection on everyone on a 3-turn. So I think they are both very accessible. Christmas Fusion and then Doom Tower Champion, very accessible champions for protecting your team. Possibly Ultimate Death Knight might work as well, so that's a very strong one. Islan could be a good one too. He's got a longer cooldown, but that shouldn't matter. Ally protection, increased defense, and some buffs on himself. He also gives you healing as well. So Islan could be really good too. So I think, for keeping your team alive, they're strong options. I'm going to say Euros might be the best because he can put out poisons whenever he's attacked, which is kind of nice, and he becomes tankier as well. So I think he might be quite a good option for this, actually. But yeah, we'll have to test it out. For actual damage, I think probably the perfect champion, Elenarl, I think is perfect. She comes in, she has HP burn that can't be resisted. That's great. And she's got poison, extra poison if she crits. So 2 poisons when she crits. She's got burn as well. I think she should be just fine as a damage dealer. Though she is going to be squishier, obviously, than Mithrala, right? Her base stats are not amazing. So perhaps keeping her alive is going to be tough. But I think she's a decent option. And then, like, what else is there for damage? You could always just run like an Inquisitor Shamael for damage. That's fine. Royal Guard, maybe just slowly wear him down. That might be okay. I think it could take a long time. Skrank with the burns, or maybe Mordecai even with burns, though he doesn't have them up the full time. Uragrim might be your best option. He's got 2 poisons on a 4-turn. He's got poisons on his A1, a small chance. I don't know. Let me know what you think about this, because I don't want to spend ages on it. There could be some budget poisoners. You know what? Even a Kemptum could be okay. 3 hits, each one can put a poison. Like, that could be okay. Just someone to keep pumping out poisons could be good. I'm going to say Elenarl is looking quite strong. And then you want, I think, a cleanser, right? When the boss switches forms, you want to cleanse off the debuffs. And that becomes really difficult. Bad Elkazar would be brilliant. He has poisons as well. Sadly, I don't have him, but Bad El is going to be MVP of this rotation, I think. For me, I think it's Hakhorn. Like, I don't know if there's many other cleansers, if any. I guess she does a small cleanse, doesn't she, Gerda? Remove random one random buff from enemies. Oh, maybe not. No. Oh no, never mind. She doesn't. Belay that order. But yeah, I think Hackworn is going to be my go-to. It's a 4-turn cooldown. Remove all debuffs from all allies and give them a massive heal. He's probably the go-to healer. I think that's going to be something like this is going to be a fairly solid team. Epic cleansers are pretty slim pickings, though. You do have Godseeker in there. That could help a lot. Perhaps you could do some unkillable stuff with Maneater. That's in there. Don't think Romero cleanses, does he? No, he gives you lots of healing though, and shielding as well. So he's not terrible. Bogoth, I'm not sure if you can make him work. It gets pretty rough. I guess honestly, your bet. You know what? Reliquary Tender might be your best budget option here. The cleanse, yeah, Reliquary, and she brings you backup revive as well. Something like this actually might be the go-to team if you don't have a Sifi. You could probably use like a Godseeker, something like that. Is going to be something along the lines of what I think we're going to be running. So that's sort of my thoughts on that. I think Amus doesn't look too bad, and you're going to get to him early enough in the rotation. If you got at least some of those good champions, you should be okay. So like if you're a somewhat late game account, I'm not worried about that. Now, Soul Cross could be quite tough. If we take a look at some of the tough stages here, we've got Iron Twins. Again, Sifi Rotus makes that very, very juicy, quite easy. Outside of this, it does become quite a bit harder, I would say. Shamrock, he's a good option. But yeah, you do have Rector Drath to help keep you alive. That's not too bad, actually. But yeah, the options become actually fair bit limited. This one is actually very limited. What do we think about this? For me here, put me up there. Like Sifi Rotus looks to be the way. You could get, decreased defense, decreased attack there, maybe her. This could be a little bit tricky, all right. Drock Ghoul might actually see some play. He gives you shielding and increase defense and stuff like that. But this one could be a bit rough. There's not a ton of good protectors. So yeah, that could be kind of tricky. So definitely be taking a look at that one. That looks fairly tricky. Sand Devil, funny enough, doesn't look too bad because Godseeker's in here this time. This is probably going to require a full regear, though. We're going to have to figure out the speed tune for Godseeker on whatever equivalent stage of Sand Devil this is. But she looks like a good option. Whatever, a Godseeker with, I don't know, Mordecai. Like, they'll do it, right? Whatever. Mordecai dies. Godseeker survives, revives herself with her passive, revives Mordecai. He burns the boss. You'll do it eventually. So that looks like a fairly straightforward solo strategy. If you've got Godseeker, that's not too bad. If you don't, it becomes a bit more difficult, doesn't it? Like, maybe Rector Drath could survive. It's gonna be tough though, because I think she'll still get one shot. I don't know. You could obviously have a revive on death potentially strategy with Mother Cybele, but it becomes quite sketchy quite quickly. Maybe Fortis can survive the one shot with his passive. That would be funny. But yeah, this one to me looks to be Godseeker all the way. But it'll be interesting to see what teams we're going to come up with. For people that don't have Godseeker, I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of interesting cheese strategies. Like, you could potentially just run Rector Drath really tanky in Toxic. She might be able to just solo it, because she heals herself an okay amount. It is a little tricky though. It's a bit tricky. Or potentially just a very tanky Rector Drath with a Mordecai, and just keep reviving him, and he'll slowly kill the boss with burns like that, something like that. There are options there, I do think. Over here, Ice Golem Hard and Nether Spider. Yeah, this one could be I'd say it's not too bad if you got Elva. Elva probably keeps you very safe. Oella keeps you very safe as well. You could even bring in shielding here. And you've got Artak. Just lay out the burns. What you'd have to worry about would be all of the poisons coming in and wiping you out. Honestly, a Creodan if you've got him, or Archmage Helmet if you've got him. Someone with AoE crowd control to stun the little spider so you stop the counterattacks. One of those big healers. And, you should be fairly solid, actually. That's not too bad. So Archmage would probably be the most accessible one. So I think this one looks pretty darn doable, actually. That's not too bad. You could even just pray for good luck with an Artec and a stun set, and you could probably do it. But that actually looks quite easy, I think. Fire Knight hard. Over here. This looks very easy. You've got the two fusions, right? The two anti-Fire Knight fusions. You've got... Newt probably makes this doable just by himself. Blizzard comes in with a triple hit that can freeze as well. So I'd be pretty confident in this one. Actually really doesn't look too bad. That really doesn't look too bad. You could put in, you know, increase speed, decrease speed with Shamrock. That's always a solid option. He's got a double hit A1 as well. So he's pretty solid. Oh, Morag gives you ally attack. Say Morag definitely goes in. I think these ones definitely go in. You even got a Demitha if you need to be unkillable. Yeah, there's a lot of options here. Honestly, if you've got a second Morag, double Morag is the way to go. She was good on the last rotation. If you got double, that'd be pretty good. So yeah, I feel like there's a lot of options for this. This doesn't look too bad. You even have Skull Crusher for counterattack if you need, and to keep you alive as well for that initial hit. So you could speed tune that. Excuse me. So that looks pretty doable too. That's not too bad. Then we come to the places I got stuck. 14, 20, 18. Take a quick look at these. 14 looks absolutely brutal. Let me not cover the factions. We're going to be slightly off the screen. I can make myself smaller. Why didn't I think of that? We have the technology. I'm smaller now. Force, attack, and HP from Lizards, Demon Spawn, Undead. This is so limited right there. This is very, very nasty. Nazana in a stun set. She's got AoEs for days with AoE decreased attack, can protect you as well. She seems very good. Basilisk, he's got AoEs. So this looks like Stun City right now. Wonder if you could do Soul Drinker. He's got bombs. AoE with bombs. Yeah, maybe Soul Drinker in a stun set. This could be quite sketchy. I mean, you could even potentially stick in these guys. They've got AoE stuns, but they're not super reliable, actually. I don't know about the Husks. Sissia could be good as well in a stun set, perhaps. She'll kill them with burns, too. This one I'm not sure about. I am not sure about. What does Hexia do? Yeah, no, she's not going to be very useful, I don't think. About this guy. What's he even called? AoE. Don't know about that. Yeah, this comes tricky. This champion. AoE decrease debuff or increase debuffs on a target. That's quite useful. It's pretty sparse. This is pretty sparse. Yeah, so there could be stuff I don't have. This one looks really tricky though. This looks like a lot of randomness. I would probably run double Nizana, Basilisk, maybe even double Basilisk. This one is... That's not good. That's not good. That's a nasty stage 14. Yikes. What about stage 20? This one has got such a nasty final wave. There's some really good champs in here. That's so limited. This is everyone, including my master and reserve vault. This is everything I have. That's it. Magic, defense, and HP from... Is barbarians? No, it's orcs. Orcs, dwarves, shadowkin. Yikes. I mean, double Michinaki, probably a stun set Artak. This guy, he's got AoE stuns as well, and increased defense to up the Michinaki damage. And then maybe him for healing and keep you alive. This is probably the team, I guess. Regearing Artak and stun set. Maybe Michinaki's regeared and stun. This could be a massive regearing job. The problem here, I think you could delete Sifi with Rhonda, or you could use Rhonda to block Sifi's passive, and then she couldn't cleanse the Rotus. But that's not an option here, is it? It's not an option. So the Rotus are going to get turns. That's quite rough. This makes Goffred pretty nice, right? Goffred will stop one of them from killing you, but there's still a danger the Rotus sort of roll you over. So that one's quite scary. Maybe Ally Protection could keep you alive with Taragi. Taragi could be a really strong option as well, but yeah, let me know. Like, you might be going in something like this. Let me know what you think about that. That looks pretty darn hard. S18, Spirit, Attack, and Defense. This one is quite nasty. There's like a Hegemon on the second wave. Oh, quite limited here as well. Like, we've got lots of damage dealers with AoEs, so they could be in stun sets. One nice thing, you do have a Valkyrie. If you've got, not Valkyrie, Martyr could be really good. Really, really good. Maybe even a Virtus to keep you alive. This one looks quite hard, though, as well. What does this guy do? You've got AoE decreased crit rate. That's okay. Reflect some damage back. Man, it's pretty tricky. Maybe Virtus for ally protection to try keep your team alive. He can give somebody continuous heal too. It's going to be very hard to keep those damage dealers alive. It might be, again, the damage more so run in... Maybe even don't bring in those damage. I don't know. You probably do in a stun set, right? You probably bring Cupidus or her in a stun set, and you let the defensive damage dealers do the work. Like, you can build Tatura as a nuker, and he'll do pretty well and help your team stay alive. Like, he's pretty good. And he'll protect you from the single target hits as well with the Veil. So he's going to kind of hard carry this team. I think Tatura is the guy. That's going to be, again, very tough. S19, this is the one. It was pretty doable last time. This is switched up. Oathbound. I wonder, can you use Achak? Freezes. Their attack is higher than their defense. I mean, it's probably not going to work. Yeah, like it'll freeze Karato, but that's probably it. I think Oathbound is good. I've got him 6-star. He is, well, AoE decrease attack and some turn meter. 4 hits at random with block active skills, and then a freeze A1. A decent chance to freeze on the A1. Yeah, Oathbound in a stun set, Fearsome Presence, or maybe a provoke set. Yeah, this is gonna be nasty. There's not much here. Nizana. Nizana looks to be kind of an MVP. Maybe double Nizana could be pretty good in stun sets. She's tanky as well and got good speed. She could be quite strong. Soul Drinker comes in again. All right, and then you've got some good damage options. You've got good damage, like Artemage is good damage, Dahi's good damage, but keeping them alive is not easy, if not impossible. Lady Quillen, AoE, some extra stuff. That's gonna be pretty rough. Like, that's very tough. Very, very tough. Yeah, I'd say Soul Drinker, because I'm not sure how squishy Soul Drinker is. At least the bombs would do okay, but this looks pretty challenging. I'm gonna be honest. That looks very tough. Yeah, we'll have to find out what the strat is there, rares and epics. But yeah, that's rough. Then Fire Knight hard with Spider. Again, you've got a Newt in there, so that's not too bad. Potential counterattack as well. So yeah, again, similar champs showing up. I think are gonna be very strong. You could even run a Virtus for budget. You've got Morag for ally attack. It's a very good option. She's really been an MVP. Melga for healing should be probably plenty to keep you alive if you need it. So honestly, with a Noose in there, I'm not too worried. Well, we've got a block revive, do we? Is that a debuff? That block revive? I don't even know what block revive is. That looks like it's blocking gear sets. That might be Seal. That looks like block revive. Okay, so you've got to pretty much bring in Phoenix or something. Or I guess a burn of some sort. Let me see. Block revive or a burn. Oh no. For burns? Okay, you've got a couple of options for burns, not many. But for killing Frostbite, it's going to be a bit annoying. Probably the easiest way is probably with him, with Armiger. Bring in your Armiger, that might work. That's not a terrible option. Or just bring in like a Phoenix if you can keep him alive. That could be fine with his A1. It's quite strong. Blocks revive. So Phoenix actually looking pretty good right there. So that doesn't look too bad. Obviously big regearing, but not too bad. And then just to see this boss, Dark Fae with the dragon. That's going to be... I'm not sure. I never got to this one last time, so I didn't figure out what the actual challenges were. In terms of turn meter, I think probably Gromlock. Gromlock is your best one. He can steal turn meter on a 2-turn when booked. So Gomlock might need to be booked. Right. He also brings decreased defense weaken. And Leech A1. So that's very good. Gomlock looks to be very strong for trying to keep you alive. You do have a Python, but bearing in mind, this kind of copy your Python, so that could be really, really nasty as well. That could be rough. Yeah, but I'd say Gomlock could be good. Razin could be decent as well. Or coming in and just, bam, AoE decrease turn meter. Like, that's not a bad opener. You come in, right? AoE decrease defense weaken. Bam, push their back their turn meter, and then you should be fairly okay to hopefully keep control. Like maybe you're probably gonna have to regear Python, make him squishy to make it work. But like, yeah, this looks tricky enough as well. I'd say it's fairly reliant on Gomlock, like turn meter control for Dark Fae. Apart from that, I'm not sure how important it is, but it is quite limited. There's not a lot. There is not a lot. I don't think Fenshi has turn meter. He's got multi-hits. Decreased speed, that's pretty good. Does decrease turn meter. Fenshi looks quite solid for killing Dark Fae. He'd be good against the boss as well. So I think he'd be a decent option. But yeah, lots of challenges. Let me know what you think. Looks pretty tough to me. I'm probably going to go unlock Amius first and probably do a guide on that. And then we trying to get to Soul Cross and working our way through. And yeah, I might do like some summary videos for the bosses, but that's probably about it. Let me know though what you would like to see. Thank you for watching. We can put me back. I'm trying to move the wrong thing. Where's my face cam? There we go. Something like that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.